ESPN 980 and ESPN980.com. Now it's time to hit the links for Sunday Tea Time with Steve Zabin.
And welcome to another edition of Sunday Tea Time, everybody. Zabe here with just two of my guys. Say hello to the Director of Instruction, Woodmont Country Club, and Yukon Husky, John Rose.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
And, of course, Ron Thomas, longtime Maryland captain of the Potomac Cup team and former Terrapin under Freddie Funk circa 1989 to 93. Something like that, Ronnie?
88 to 93.
Very good. Golf claps for you. And winner of the Maryland State Pub Links 2004. Exactly right.
Wow.
And
this
yours,
century. That's
and
good.
yours truly, the hopeless golf nerd, with all the cameras and the technology. It's good to be on TV finally, so it's good. Everyone can see our faces. And it's a new era with the show. It's going to be cool because we're not only going to be on every Sunday morning here on ESPN 980, but we're going to take ourselves out and about and get to see some places, get to see some courses. If you would like your course featured here on the program, just drop me a line, zabe@yahoo.com. We'd love to come out and play your course and sit down and talk about how great your course is.
Yeah, because we're going to see the courses and the people
That's
of
right.
the courses.
The people
which is going to be
working
more fun.
hard at the courses.
Right.
All right. The big news this week, Tiger Woods' fourth back surgery. Talk about a dagger. If you wanted to ever proclaim that this is it, that it's over, it's probably safe to say this is it. It's over. Now, Johnny, you know the back issue very well, unfortunately, because you've been through that.
Yeah, and I had two surgeries, the same surgeries that he had.
Okay.
I guess he had three of them, 3 discectomies where they
Right.
just kind of carve it down, get it off the nerve, so hopefully things calm down. This, what I read, I believe he now had a single fusion.
A partial fusion. They said
Partial
they
fusion.
took out one collapsed disc, and they also did a partial fusion.
Okay.
The one doctor that I follow, Ronnie, on Twitter, and he's just a Twitter doctor, but he used to work for the Chargers, Dr. David Chow, he said that this procedure means minimum 6 months out and that he can come back and play, but he has never heard of a golfer actually winning with a partial fusion.
Well, you wonder if the people that have had, or the previous players that have had a partial fusion, you wonder if they had all of the injuries prior to that fusion surgery.
Right.
You know,
And the
because that's-
age.
Yeah.
And the lack of ability. I mean,
Yeah.
because when it comes down to it, obviously his skills were diminishing, and then he has the injuries, which prohibits him from practicing and maybe even learning a newish swing.
A new way to
relative,
swing.
Yeah, to his injuries. He's got no chance at this point.
At this point, it's over, but he doesn't want to say it's over. He doesn't want to actually retire. I think there's financial ramifications for that. In his statement, he said, I look forward to, 1, getting back to leading a normal life, 2, playing with my kids, and 3, playing tournament golf. That's third on the list. The fourth was living pain-free, which I think we all wish him and anyone with back injuries to be pain-free. But how is he going to practice, Johnny Ronas? How is he going to get back to that elite level without hitting 1,000 balls a day?
He's not, and I think based on his performance, even in the slight times when he felt pretty good, he doesn't have the ability anymore anyways. So regardless of what injury he's fighting, he's not good enough anymore. So then you couple that with there's no chance he can pound the balls like he used to. So he's not going to be able to practice. He's not going to develop anything new. He can't compete with the younger bucks out there. So the question is, what is going to be his role in professional golf? And he's got 10 years until the senior tour.
If he would even want to play it.
Right.
Which
so
not
he's
everyone
linger.
does. Norman was in pretty good shape, could have played the senior tour, chose not to.
He may never play. I mean, he's eligible to play in so many tournaments because of his past performance, but he will never win another tournament again. I'll put that out there right now.
I think that's easy to say. The question is, Ron, will he play in another major? Will he tee it up at another major?
Pure speculation, but for me, the bigger question is: has there ever been a larger or a bigger fall from grace?
No, not just with the personal life and the tabloid stuff, but the injury fall. As I've said, I'm not a back expert, but I would imagine guys that fall off of roofs, that work shingles crews, don't have backs this bad. How did his back get this bad?
And that begs the other question.
Absolutely begs the other question.
Right, about what did he do to get so different in his upper body, so noticeably different. And really, those were all vanity muscles because they didn't help him swing a golf club.
No,
you
biceps aren't going to help you swing the golf club.
Or chest or lat or this other stuff.
And it deteriorates, the things that we're talking about here, quietly.
Yeah.
Deteriorates a lot of the structure that you're dealing with. So he has suffered the consequences of his earlier decisions. And yes, vanity, getting himself with Marines and SEALs and all the other stuff that had no relevance to the one thing that he should have been totally focused on, which was at his disposal the greatest player ever.
Ascending Mount Nicklaus.
Right.
That was supposedly the goal.
He lost sight of it.
He seemed to get bored of it from the story that was written about him, in ESPN, the magazine, by Wright Thompson. It seemed to be that he was tired of dominating these chumps out there.
Well, I think we all watched that series on the Golf Channel on Jack.
Did you finally get around to it, Ronnie? Did you watch it finally?
Not all of it, some of it.
Well, do I need to assign homework? Seriously. I mean, what are you doing at night that you wouldn't watch an epic 3-part series on the greatest golfer ever?
A lot of stuff. Baseball practice.
For with
one.
Your son.
TV, sleeping.
I'm just giving you
I know
grief.
you are.
I want you to watch it, though, because it is great.
And the thing about it was Nicklaus basically reinvented himself multiple times and fought to have the motivation to go out there and keep winning. There were lulls. There were many years that he didn't win a major.
Lulls, yeah.
And he went out there and he said, all right, I'm kind of sick of mulling around here. I'm going to go get it again.
Right.
And you're right. I don't know if Tiger had that.
If this is the end of Tiger and we start to count up all the chips in different columns and whatnot, would it be fair to say that Jack remains the greatest player of all time, but that Tiger was the most dominant player the game has ever seen?
My answer is actually no on both of them. My answer
is
on
both?
No. Jack is the greatest player to ever play golf.
Who was more dominant than Tiger?
I think during a short period of time, I would put someone like Sarazen.
That's ancient golf. I'm talking the modern game, right, Ron?
Yeah,
156-man fields, jet travel, all that stuff.
Yeah, as far as being absolutely money when it came time under the gun to make a putt, to win a championship that he was expected to win, and doing so, I don't think there will ever be another dominant force like Tiger Woods.
Tiger's win percentage in terms of tournaments entered is unmatched and out there.
So it's in
80 yards past anyone else's win percentage.
40% or something.
He's the only guy that did the Tiger Slam, the 4 in a row, even though it wasn't the same calendar year. I have a hard time seeing anybody else do that in the modern era. His made cut streak is not going to be touched. That is the Cal Ripken record of golf, in my opinion.
What is it? 120 or
a lot.
100 and something.
Yeah.
It's insane, is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think I'm comfortable saying that Tiger was the most dominant golfer the game has ever seen. Was he the greatest? No. Jack Nicklaus was the greatest in multiple measures. And I think, Ron, once you watch the Nicklaus, 3-part miniseries on the Golf Channel, you'll, like me and John, would agree probably that Nicklaus was so different than Tiger in a lot of ways.
Really?
In many ways.
Well, I watched the part where he was traveling with the family, where Barbara was always with him, and the kids were always there with them, and so I watched that part.
How about the fact
the
that
theme of it was multiple times he had to check himself and look in the mirror and say, you know what, I got to work a little bit harder. He was enjoying the family and the traveling around and meeting with different people when he go around, living with different people in hotels. And then he occasionally would say, boy, I haven't won a major in 3 years. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get some new clothes that are way smaller. I'm going to lose some weight.
Right.
I'm going to go win some majors.
Yeah. What's interesting is that Nicklaus, at times I felt the Nicklaus story was boring, if that makes any sense. It's almost like Jack Nicklaus, great player, dominated, won all the time, great family man, solid family, and as in terms of a dramatic 30 for 30 type story, it's just not there with Jack. And that's not a knock. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying it was interesting that it struck me as that, because it wasn't nearly as fascinating as I thought it would be. It was still cool to see all the old footage.
Well, then, if you compare that to Tiger's upbringing, as far as his family structure, his father, and the stories about his father.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, being a disciplinarian and driving
but also
him to
womanizer.
but also a womanizer, a
fast
drinker.
liver.
Yes, and so you compare those two. But getting back to Tiger, the real question that I have for you guys is, who suffers the most in him not being out
TV
there
networks.
anymore?
Period.
Okay. I feel like I'm going to suffer because I loved watching the guy play so much.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden,
no.
All of a sudden,
This
Ron's going to suffer.
Hey, this doesn't
We're gonna
mean
bring back some
this
old
doesn't
tape.
mean that this
tape.
doesn't mean that I don't think that the sport is healthy and it's going to be fine going forward. But there's not one person alive who plays golf, and in some cases who has never touched a golf club, who didn't love watching Tiger Woods play.
No, it was get your attention, get the hair up on your back of your arms.
Yeah.
Must-see TV.
And that
A little more McEnroe than Sampras or Federer.
Sure.
And that's what I think we like. We like a little bit of pizzazz. We like a little bit of spunk. And we like them to come out winning. And so I'll agree with you there. That was... And so, right, the
big
TV networks,
loser,
because we're not watching.
The big loser and the only loser is television ratings, because they were the only ones that benefited. The course boom that came in the wake of Tiger's ascendancy, the courses that are Chapter 11 bankrupt, they're not going to be benefited by this or hurt by this. Their tide came and went, and they didn't see the golfers they thought they would. Apparel, equipment, Nike's already out of the equipment business, so I think their net effect is gone. The networks now have to go back to a world of golf in which they don't have one singular star that they can count on.
And they're not going to have the advertisers knocking on their door as much as they're going to have to do some knocking themselves, probably.
Yeah,
the
Jay
networks.
Monahan, the tour commissioner, it's bad for him.
Yeah.
But it was already starting to sunset.
And one other thing I think that is tough, if I were Tiger, if I could put myself in his shoes, it would sadden me that my kids wouldn't get to watch me in my heyday.
Tiger never got the greenside hug that Bubba
They were too
and
small.
Phil and every other tour player now gets. They were too small, or he was embroiled in his divorce at the time.
Yeah, that is.
How about
you're
that,
right.
huh, for sobering?
Because that's the one that when you're watching gets you.
Oh,
As a
totally.
father, you sit
Sure.
there and say, "Holy smokes!"
Who wouldn't want to
be
pick up their little
unbelievable?
kid and take him off on your shoulders and your arms?
And let's maybe just let's have a glimmer of hope that there might be something that is miraculous in his recovery, and he finds a different way of life, and he says maybe that's the one. Maybe that's him putting his child's picture on the box of cigarettes to get him motivated. Maybe it's, boy, I'd love to have that one moment where my kids run out on the green and see that Dad accomplished something.
Well, it was sobering news this week, and certainly very shocking. And if it's the end of Tiger Woods, it's going to be a hell of a story to tell when it's all said and done, both the ups and the downs. Coming up next on Sunday Tea Time, our course of the week here in the DMV. I went to Trump National, where they're going to be holding the Senior PGA Championship.
Is that named after someone?
It's named after the president before he became the president.
Okay, great.
And it's fabulous. Just
Heard of that.
ask him. No, it really is nice. I'll tell you about my visit next. It's Sunday Tea Time here on ESPN 980.